All right, so today the video I'm checking out is the best Larry Bird versus arrogant showboat story ever told. All right, now if it's one thing I know about Larry Bird was that he was a great trash talker. I enjoy trash talkers. It makes the sport more competitive and, you know, add some passion to it. So I love when there's a nice rivalry or just some craziness going on. So let's get right into it.
A person's making an issue out of this as Bird is jarring with him.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah. And Person will be called with the foul. And Person and Bird have a few words.
I love the ominous music instigating this.
Bird again. Ends up.
All right, now that's dirty.
On the floor, and he was pushed by Person.
Person stuffed him and had something to say afterwards. That's the play of the game right there. And look at Bird.
And talking.
Person didn't dare look at him.
Out of all of the times where Larry Bird trash talked and dominated an opponent, Chuck Person was one of the few players that stood toe-to-toe with Larry Bird and actually held his own.
It started my rookie year, and first time I touched the ball, my very first game, he said, "Shoot the ball, rookie. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it." I said, "Okay, I'll shoot it." Wow, like that, and it went in. And I said, "Don't ever tell me to shoot the ball. I shoot it every time." And from then on, it's been a battle in the last 6 years.
That's my mindset. Don't tell me to shoot it.
Person uses that right arm to get Bird out of the way, and then he drains it, and then he talks to Larry.
Chuck Persons. Okay, so don't know a whole lot. I wasn't really watching a lot of NBA back during this period of time, so this is definitely going to be a little bit new for me.
Trev, Person for three. We're tied up. But he's jawing with Larry Bird again. Person wants the ball against Larry Bird. Count it.
Nice shot.
The first Indiana lead. Listen to the crowd. He'll pull out and shoot a three. Watch him. Here it goes. That'll be good. It is the Person show.
And when they faced off in the first round of the 1991 playoffs, their underrated rivalry was an intense.
If I'm not mistaken, that's McHale, and he's gone. He's gone. Thompson is gone.
Physical.
There was a little flop in that.
Hard-fought battle of will.
And now Person's doing a little talking to Bird now. And now they're bumping. And he's back to talking, and so's Larry Bird. Person. And when he talks, he walks.
And with the series tied 2 games apiece, Larry Bird, in the 5th and deciding game, gave us one of the most iconic moments in NBA history.
It is one of in the Bird lore, it is one of the top 5 incidents that he did that might have been the last great moment.
Marv, the mood of the Celtics could be described as confident. In fact, this is the 10th deciding game of a playoff series Larry Bird has been involved in. By the way, the condition of his lower back injury remains the same, expecting to play about 40 minutes through pain today. And it has come down to the 5th and deciding game.
That's the one thing I love about the players of the past. You know, they would really play through the pain. You know, we've seen even in the 90s, 2000s, Kobe did it. Just players back then, they wanted to be on the floor. They were not taking these rest days off or these prima donna days off to try to relax and stuff like that. These guys wanted to compete. They wanted to play. So that's a joy to watch.
Between the Celtics and the Pacers. Bird of the open court over Williams.
Nice.
Pacers down court in a hurry. Larry Bird had some words right in the face of Chuck Person as Person called for the timeout.
Because Larry Bird
That's a wolf.
started the game off hot, you couldn't tell that he was battling a severe back injury and was in a lot of pain.
Larry Bird at this point in his career is now squeezing to the end. It's a ceaseless struggle to get healthy enough to play.
Larry Bird did not play the final 7 games of the season as he decided to sit out and see if he could get his back ready for the playoffs. His back was day to day, and no one knew if he would be able to play in the series.
I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to feel Thursday or Friday. It's just wait and see. It's a game that we're playing right now, and hopefully I'll be prepared to play every game.
The lower back is such an unpredictable injury because you don't know when you're going to have a good game or when it's going to be. I've had similar issues with my back for years, and as someone who's liked to play sports, it can really make or break your game.
I remember walking in the locker room, and I saw Larry before the game, and I said, "How you feeling?" "I'm okay, I guess." Well, he wasn't okay. Guy could barely put his pants on.
He spent the night at the hospital in traction, so he had to be in just unbelievable pain.
Bird off balance. 6 points for Larry Bird. Bird putting his shoulder down that time, actually trying to create off the dribble, which is unusual with the bad back that he has.
As Larry Bird carried the Celtics to a lead in the first half, while already...
I will say, as someone who likes the sport of basketball, it's been my favorite sport for so long. I really missed out not getting to see Larry play, so that's why this is kind of enjoyable for me, because it's also education. Not just Larry Bird, but other players as well. Like, I don't know half of these players.
In excruciating back pain. To make matters even worse, with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, Larry Bird took one of the nastiest falls of his career.
Right now, Larry Bird with 12, and the Celtics lead by 7. 4.5 remaining in this first half. Bird had it knocked away by Saddle. Power shot to recovery. Bird is hurt. Bird is down, and he's...
Did his head bounce?
As Bird goes after the loose ball to try to save it, he does in fact get it, keeps it in play, but he paid for it, struggling right now to get up.
That's something you don't want to see. Your star player hit the ground like that.
It was a thud when he hit that floor. You heard that boom.
Boom.
The breath went out of that building because they thought that, that was it.
What went through my mind, just hope it wasn't anything too serious. Obviously, if was something wrong with me, anytime you see Larry Bird walks off the court, something seriously got to be wrong.
Larry Bird's face hit the floor so hard that he knocked himself unconscious for a few seconds. He left the game with a concussion and had a broken bone in his face.
Dang.
And with the Celtics leader out of the game, Chuck Person and the Indiana Pacers smelled blood.
The fact that Larry Bird is in the locker room right now isn't helping the Indiana Pacers pick up their level of intensity. They smell it right now.
We talk so much about Reggie Miller. Not a lot gets talked about with this Chuck Persons guy.
No, the leader is not on the floor. Someone needs to step up now for Boston and take over in Larry Bird's absence.
And Chuck Person with 20 points. The first time this afternoon the Pacers have had a lead.
Well, right, Chuck Person was a real force, and there was a lot of back and forth going on.
Person for 3. Yes.
Beautiful.
Straight away.
And Larry bangs his head on the floor.
I know.
Bang, boom. Has to leave the game. It looks like the ship's going to sink, and we're going to go home in the first round.
Person from downtown. What a shot by Chuck Person. And he gets the treatment from the crowd as he reacted. Indiana with a 3-point lead.
And the cameras are on Larry emerging from the locker room, coming down the corridor. The cavalry is arriving. The crowd sees him. They go berserk.
Didn't Paul Pierce have like a similar moment like this, or somebody came out of the locker room after an injury and the crowd just went crazy? I can't remember who it was.
And here comes Larry Bird. As Michael Williams is covered by Robert Parrish.
I got the sense the Pacers were stunned to see him there, and that they thought, holy what's going to happen next?
It's that will to win, baby.
Now,
Throughout this timeout, they have been standing and cheering since Larry Bird made his way from underneath the tunnel from the Boston locker room. He went out with 4:23 remaining in the second after taking the fall, and he is back in the ball game. Reggie Miller's shot rebounded by Bird.
What a pass.
I've never met an athlete that would play with pain the way he does, and an athlete that's so highly self-motivated as Larry Bird.
People's pain threshold are different. Some guys will dislocate a finger and go ahead and play with it. Some guys can dislocate a finger and be out 6 weeks. I think it's just something within your body that some guys have a good pain threshold and some don't. But to me, I was just so glad I got the NBA and made it. I didn't want some little injury messing up my whole season, so I tried to play through it.
Bird with the step on Swept. Yes!
There's nothing like watching the heart of a champion, no matter who your favorite player is. Okay, it's just something, because you see the sea of players through college, even high school, college, NBA, so many players. But when you come across that one special player, all right, and they have that will to win, it's just like you just can't look away.
When Larry returned, the Celtics went from losing by 3 points to winning by 13 points in a matter of minutes.
But they come right back at you. On the reverse.
That's the epitome of daddy's home.
And it counts.
I think it's really a mental thing that, Larry's on the court now. Hey, now we got our leader back. We got a big option here we can go to down the stretch during the game. And he's just a big emotional enough when he's on the court, too.
3-point play for Bird. Bird ahead of the field.
Beautiful.
And it's the Celtics by 13.
The fans at that point wouldn't let the team lose because of what Larry was doing.
Sanders at 6'6".
This is why old school players, they love people who are fans of the old school game. They love the fundamentals of basketball, making the great pass, the setup of the play. There's something about it versus like the all-star ball, the Allen Iverson type ball, that 101 style, which is also fun to watch as a fan. But there's some people who've always hated that style of play because they grew up watching this style, which is also very entertaining.
Giving away 3 inches to Bird, who's trying to post him off through the foul.
Oh! Young man, young man, young man.
The bulk of the work on the defensive board.
I mean, it's like he knew he would be there.
Always looking down the floor and just gets it out over the top of Reggie Miller. And he's going to lead this group with a little bit of emotion, and then also by taking it strong to the basket, showing them how it's to be done.
And when your best player is fearless like that, talking trash to the other team, that bleeds off into the other teammates. Okay? That's a good thing about having a leader like that, all right, because the rest of the players will feed off of that energy.
Through all of the pain and injuries, Larry Bird came back and led this Celtics team to a victory.
Totally forgot he bounced his head off the floor.
Proving that there's a big difference between being a good player and being the greatest of all time. Because today's players just aren't built like they used to be.
Quite rarely do you see this kind of emotion from Larry Bird.
No, but Larry Bird is answering the challenge put forth to him by Chuck Person and the Indiana Pacers.
And the guy looks like he works at Jiffy Lube and just put on a Celtics jersey and just comes out and starts hooping.
And he's letting it all hang out today.
I'm talking about today's player. When you look at Larry in that game, and Bob Hill says he's coming back and be ready for him, would today's player come back in a game like that? Now with load management, where agents and
I did not see this before. I didn't see this ahead of time, but I went here already.
Managers are saying you got to take care of your body and your product, and it's true. I mean, your body is your livelihood.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Jordan playing with 104-degree temperature.
Yeah.
A courageous, classic performance.
And that's why he's considered to be the greatest.
By the flu-ridden Michael Jordan.
Larry, we just talked about that game, you know. With
Isaiah Thomas against the Lakers in 88, 25-point period on a bad leg.
He's got to be hurting and limping. Thomas goes up, and Isaiah Thomas having an incredible period.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm being unfair, but that just isn't there anymore.
Boston 110, Indiana 96. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth. Bird again ends up on the floor, and he was pushed by Person.
Person stepping up with the flying screen right in the area that Larry Bird doesn't need it, in the middle of the back.
He said, all right, you want to leave me open? Forget it.
I think 4 or 5 years you'll think back about what he did, or you'll just, you know, you'll go that. I think it's one of those things that as the years go by, it'll become bigger and bigger and bigger.
And it is all over. The Boston Celtics, in a terrific series, have defeated the Indiana Pacers.
They all went out the same exit.
They won it in 5 to advance to the second round.
I already have a lot of respect for Larry Bird, but the way he played today, you know, it's just like the stuff you tell your kids about. And I told him at the end of the game, I've never seen anything like that.
Truly amazing, and you know, it's courageous and all those other things. And he's the leader. He is the leader of the Celtics, and he will be until he retires.
I've known Chuck for a while, and we've always had run-ins, but it always seems like I get the last word.
As competitive as the game was back then, you know you're a special player when the opposite team rushes to congratulate you, just to pat you on the back or shake your hand, because they just witnessed something very heroic, a case where most people would have quit, would have called it off and said, forget that game, my health means more. You got some people that are just crazy and they love the game more so than they care about their well-being at that given time. And also to do it and give such an amazing performance, to bring your team from being behind to winning. It's an amazing thing to watch. I do think that that competitive edge is missing in a lot of sports today. And that's what makes these videos fun. So by you guys liking the video, commenting, drop some jewels, some facts about the game or the sport or the team. I do enjoy learning little tidbits of information from you guys who grew up watching this era of basketball, as I like the competitive nature of it more so than today, as I've stated before. But I appreciate you guys for watching. And if you like the video, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date whenever I post. Appreciate you for watching and hope you have a great day. Peace.